Hi, this is Dan from Magic Pachinko Restorations. Just wanted to show you my new sign, my new hat. Gotta love Vistaprint. Okay, advertising over. This is my latest restoration project. This is a 1975 Nishijin Model B, and this has got it says World Ski up here. I'm not sure if there was a World Ski Championship in Japan at 75, 76, or if that's a reference to the 1972 Winter Olympics. But at any rate, it's got kind of an Olympic sort of theme to it. Very pretty machine. With all of my restorations, I tear everything off. Everything gets dealt with. The plastic, the metal, the chrome, the brass, everything gets dealt with, and a variety of different ways, and then all reassembled. So this is a brand new playfield. It is a copy of the original. The original one was very typical of pachinko machines that are 45, 50 years old. The original playfield is very faded. The colors were very faded, and this one had a substantial amount of water damage on the playfield. And the only way you can make that go away is to rip it off and put a new one on. So again, full restoration, everything taken off, cleaned, and reassembled. So let me show you the back. When I do the full restorations, I also deal with the wooden frames. These get taken apart. I plane the wood, I sand it, I polyurethane it. So these are actually nicer than they are when they come out of the factory. When they mass produced them, they rough cut the wood. And now it's all finished and protected, again, for certainly a lifetime of use. So this all comes off, this all gets cleaned, all reassembled. So now if you decide to purchase this machine, you'd be getting ready to set it up. So with all of the restorations that I do, I wire them to a 12-volt wall supply. So you just plug this in. Typically, pachinkos have two light bulbs, one up in this corner, upper left from the front of the machine. It's on now. Typically, it shines through red plastic like this one does, and it signifies that there are no pachinko balls in the machine. It's controlled by this switch right here. This little white leaf switch, they call it. So when there's balls in there, it releases the pressure. When there's no balls, it drops down and makes the contact. So we're going to put some pachinko balls in. One of the things that I can't stress enough is that pachinko machines are designed to function properly when they have the right amount of balls in them. The right amount of balls for pretty much any pachinko machine, they'll handle 800, 900, some will even handle 1,000 pachinko balls. In the parlors in Japan, one of the things that the attendants did is make sure that the machines were full of pachinko balls all the time. And that's what you want for the pachinko machine in your home. You want to make sure you've got plenty of pachinko balls. If you're going to buy some, I suggest no less than 500. It will be a good thing in the long run to have that many. So when you do buy your pachinko balls, make sure you do buy legitimate pachinko balls and not not ball bearings. You don't want ball bearings. They're not the right size. Pachinko balls are 11 millimeter. That's what the machines are designed to use. So you're going to put about 90% of the pachinko balls that you buy right here in the upper hopper. I got ahead of myself. Okay, that's what's going to happen if you don't interlock the ball dump mechanism. So I've taken on the Nishijins anyway. I'm color coding these with red and a black arrow. So the black arrow says push to the right, and you now interlock the two red pieces, which closes the gap that the balls just ran out of. So that's the first thing that you want to do when you get your pachinko machine, is make sure that this is interlocked. Now the balls will go down into the jackpot chamber. Okay, so now they've gone down through into the turnaround. They've gone across that gap and into the jackpot chamber. They're ready to play. Now, the only thing that's missing on this pachinko machine is the cover for the Seesaw Chamber. It in no way affects the play of the game. Unfortunately, the parts get lost over time. Sometimes there are spare parts available, sometimes there aren't. The nice thing about it, though, is it gives you a good look at your Seesaw Chamber. So this white piece of plastic right here is called the Seesaw, and the proper position for it to be ready to play is the way it sits now, on an angle like this, not on an angle like that. If it happens to be down, then another arrow here, there's a little rod. You push up on that rod and it will lift the Seesaw into its proper position. So the way a Pachinko machine works, a winning ball comes into the machine, right in, and they drop down, they run down a ramp to the end of the Seesaw. The weight of the ball then tips the Seesaw, the ball exits, comes down this chute here, and ultimately drops out of the machine. Now the weight of the ball is going to push down on this lever here. This lever is called the Jackpot Arm. It goes across the machine, it interfaces with this rod, it comes up and interfaces with the rod that comes across and activates the Jackpot Chamber. If I push on this, it would open the Jackpot Chamber and let 14 balls out as a win. So set the machine up, you put balls here, make sure this is closed, and then you're going to push up on this and make sure your Seesaw is in the right spot. If the Seesaw is down and you get a win, what will happen is that winning ball will come in and just stop. And then if you continue to play, they just keep backing up, and that creates a mess. So if you get a win and it doesn't pay out, turn the machine around, look in this area right in here. Typically there'll be a ball stuck in here, and you can lift up on what's called the paper clip, this little piece of metal right here, and that will let the ball out and the machine will cycle, and then you're okay. All right, so the machine is plugged in. You do not need power for Pachinko machines to work. The only reason that there is a 12-volt power supply is to run the lights. The machine itself actually works just simply on gravity. So you'll put the balls up in your upper feed tray. You're going to need something similar to this, about that long and about that wide. There are two places where Pachinko balls will drop out of the machine, and you want to be able to catch them in something like this. Unfortunately, these come right from Japan. I only get them sporadically. When I buy machines, I don't have enough to include them. But anything that is similar to size and shape is fine. It can be a cardboard box. Doesn't make any difference. So you put your catch basin back here to catch the balls. Now the nice thing about playing Pachinko is that anybody can play. It really takes no skill. It's just a matter of pressing down on this lever and letting go. Now the machine's primed and ready to go. However, there is not a ball on the launch ramp yet. It takes one cycle to get a ball onto the launch ramp. Now it will launch a ball. So I put one in here first, and when it closed up, this one opened, and then I put another one in. You got two wins. You will lose more often than not. It's the way the Pachinko machines are set up, although I do try to get the nails in such alignment that you win as often as possible. With the tulips open, it's a lot easier to get a win than when they're closed. So So that's the way that kid works. It's a very pretty machine. With all of my restorations, I guarantee them for life, that being my lifetime, of course. I'm only a phone call away. If you have any questions about this particular machine, please don't hesitate to contact me. Visit the website, www.magicpachinkorestorations.com, and maybe this will make a nice addition to your family room. Thanks.